Recycled water is the byproduct of sewage treatment. Once the water is cleaned up through those sewage treatment plants, it's colourless, odourless and fully disinfected. We have an environmental licence where that could be released to sea, but wherever possible we maximise the reuse of that in the city because it's good for irrigation, it's good to green the city and to cool the city.
We had to increase the capacity of our excess recycled water release system to cater for a growing population and ever-increasing flows. So we have upgraded pump stations at both the northern and southern treatment plants, and we've upgraded pipelines both across the Nerang River and here across the Broadwater, such that both our northern and southern systems is sufficient for the next 50 years.
Our vision is to manage resources for a sustainable future, and recycled water is a key component to enable us to deliver on that. And the treatment of sewage delivers a key public health outcome for the city.
The solution that we've just completed constructed a large tunnel underneath the Broadwater, 1.4 kilometres long, from Quota Park, Bigger Waters, across to South Stradbroke Island. From there, the excess recycled water gets released at the Seaway, and at the other end, at the Coomera treatment plant, we put in some much larger pumps to pump larger flows through our new tunnels. Planning involved environmental studies, monitoring of receiving waters, hydrodynamic modelling of flows out of the Seaway, as well as confirming projections of flows at the treatment plant that was producing that would ever increasingly grow as our population grows. We come across quite a few engineering challenges with our entry and exit shafts so close to the Broadwater. We had to construct shafts that were watertight to allow man entry and the tunnel boring machine to go from one side to the other. And then once we had the shafts, the tunnelling itself through the mixed geotechnical conditions also proved challenging. We used a secant pile construction method at Quota Park, and we used a caisson method of shaft construction over on South Stradbroke Island. So both shafts had different methods due to their site constraints. As we were tunnelling across the Broadwater and learning some of the challenges of the shaft in Quota Park, we brought forward some works to tunnel westwards from Quota Park to O'Connell Park to make better use of the works and equipment and resources that we currently had on site, and to minimise a future disturbance to the community and the park.
From an engineering perspective, it was iconic. We put a metre diameter pipe under the Nerang River from TSS to the Sundale Bridge, and we bored a tunnel from Quota Park in Bigger Waters over to South Stradbroke. Working with our key engineering partners, the state, the environmental regulators, to make sure that a project of this size, the construction impacts are minimised. And the way that we interacted with the community kept the community informed, but also how the community worked with us to understand that the impacts that we had were for the long-term benefit of the city, so they were able to accommodate our construction activities, was just amazing.
The project team, which consisted of John Holland Queensland and both the boring and tunnelling, plus many other subcontractors and suppliers, were busy for approximately 3 years in doing this project, most of which was made up of a majority of a local workforce. The benefits of the city is we have a recycled water system that's now sufficient for the next 50 years, and our pumping capacity has increased by 40% from what it was before we commenced the project. It's been pleasing to see the reinstatement of Quota Park, the revegetation over on South Stradbroke Island, and the park being given back to the community with some improvements to the local park facilities.
And that's the rewarding part. We enable people's lives on the Gold Coast. The bulk of what we do goes undetected, but for us that's a good thing.